Okay, so imagine this. What if you could build an entire application, not by writing thousands of lines of code, but just by describing what you want it to do? Well, that's the promise of a pretty radical new concept called vibe coding. We're talking about a new partnership between developers and AI that could totally change how software gets made. And this is the mantra at the very heart of it all. Don't write code, vibe with it. I know, it sounds a little abstract, maybe a bit out there, but the idea behind it is seriously powerful. It's all about shifting away from that rigid, line-by-line, semicolon-by-semicolon way of doing things and moving toward a more intuitive, goal-oriented collaboration with an AI. So let's get into it. What exactly is vibe coding? Let's break down what this thing is and, where the idea even came from in the first place. Right, here's the core definition. Instead of you wrestling with all that complex syntax, you just tell the AI, in plain English, hey, create a social media feed that displays images and lets people comment. The AI then basically acts as your super capable junior developer, taking that vision and translating it into actual functional working code. And this really shows you just how simple the basic flow is. It's a straight line from your idea to the finished product. You state your goal, build me a user registration page with a database. The AI gets what you mean, and then it doesn't just spit out a little snippet of code. No, it builds the entire stack, the front end, the back end, the database configs, the whole shebang. So what does this look like day to day? It's not like you just fire off one command and you're done. The process is really this active, hands-on loop of guiding the AI, testing what it gives you, and then refining your instructions. And this is the absolute key. It's a fundamental identity shift for the developer. The value you bring is no longer about how fast you can type or if you remember some obscure piece of syntax. It's about your vision. It's about your ability to architect a system and your skill in directing the AI to build it the right way. You become the conductor of the orchestra, not just another musician. This is the new feedback loop. You guide, the AI builds, you test. And if the result isn't quite right, you don't dive into lines of code trying to find a bug. Nope. Instead, you just refine your prompt. You might say, actually, let's add two-factor authentication, or, you know what, make the design a lot cleaner. It's a conversation that's all about the results, not the mechanics. Okay, so why make this huge shift? What's in it for us? The answer is a massive payoff. We're talking about making development faster, smarter, and way more creatively free. This slide just lays out the difference perfectly. Traditionally, developers spend so much of their time on what we call boilerplate, all that repetitive, foundational code you need for any project, and hunting down tiny syntax errors. Vibe coding just automates all that grunt work, and that frees up a developer's brainpower to focus on what actually matters: the user experience, the business logic, real innovation. You're shifting from being a code mechanic to being a project architect. And here it is. Here's the number that makes everyone sit up and pay attention. A potential 50% increase in development speed. Just think about what that means for a second. For a startup, that could be the difference between launching before your competitor or running out of money. For a huge company, it means pushing out new features in half the time. This isn't just a small improvement. It's a revolutionary leap in how fast we can build things. But, of course, it's not a silver bullet. It can't be that easy, right? As with any powerful new tech, there are some serious things to consider, some potential downsides. We have to talk about the catch. And this is the big question every team looking into this has to ask themselves. Because while the potential is absolutely huge, the risks of handing over code generation to an AI are very, very real if you don't manage them correctly. And here are the major concerns. Sure, an AI might write code that works, but is it going to be high quality? Is it secure? Is it easy for another human to come along and maintain it later? It might accidentally introduce some pretty nasty security holes. This is why human oversight is absolutely non-negotiable. For right now, vibe coding is amazing for rapid prototyping, but if you want to move to production, you need rigorous, expert-led testing and validation. No question. So let's pull back and look at the big picture here. What does this all really mean for the future of software? The theme is a crystal clear evolution away from tactical execution and towards high-level strategy. Ultimately, this is the main takeaway. The entire craft of building software is being redefined right before our eyes. It's becoming less about knowing the specific, magical incantations of a programming language and more about having a clear vision and being able to communicate that vision effectively to a really powerful AI tool. And that leaves us with a fascinating final thought to chew on. If the main way we create software becomes natural language, does that mean the most valuable skill for an engineer is going to be their ability to write clear, precise, and creative prompts? It's a question that could really redefine the entire tech industry.